Good morning and welcome to today's orientation session. Hi there, I'm Luca. I'm your holistic nutrition practitioner, and I'm in a different space right now. I am in transit on a transatlantic flight soon to be moving over to Europe. So I'm coming your way here from a family member's basement where I've been staying since I closed up my house. I got my kid to university. What? It's been a busy couple of weeks. But I'm excited about the shift of tone that we're doing here in the Good Food Network in this next month. We are diving into the thyroid. So I've got a session today. This is open to everybody, and I'm having it here on YouTube as well after the fact. And it's really, there's a couple of different purposes to this session. The first is to figure out if this is something that would be for you. So we've got kind of two parts to that. Number one, do you have these issues? Then let me take you through what we're going to be doing in the Good Food Network to showcase maybe how this could be of service to you. It also serves as part orientation for any of our new members joining us in the network this month. So it's open to everybody. If you have any questions, please hit me in the comments just below and let's get started. Now, we are moving into the thyroid. So every 2 months, I switch topics. We just wrapped up bones. First time that I've done bones. We're into year 3 now of the Good Food Network. And I'm coming back to hone in on the thyroid. This is the first time we're doubling up on a topic I've done already. And the reason I wanted to do the thyroid again is because it is such a foundational pillar to supporting your inner light, your energy stores, your vitality, your capacity to move through the day, your brain, your heart, your output of energy, your participation in life. This is like looking after your thyroid is a pillar of being human. It is about looking after your metabolic health. There are many different processes involved when we're talking about metabolic health, but the thyroid, this is my favorite saying I've come up with along the way. Being human is a thyroid sponsored act. Without a thyroid, you would be dead. So hooray, obviously. We're going to get deep into what exactly the thyroid does, but let's start first with maybe what are some of the ways that you could know if you have thyroid issues. So let's start. Let's go with the first top 10 ways to know that your thyroid is potentially struggling. Some of these are going to be obvious, others will not. And you'll go, what? How curious. Yeah, well, I'm hoping that's what you'll say. I got my list in front of me. Number 1, do you have a diagnosis that involves the thyroid? So I'm going to go through a couple here. Hashimoto's, Graves', hypothyroiditis, underactive thyroid, hyperthyroiditis, overactive thyroid. Do you have goiters? Are you on any type of medication like Synthroid or levothyroxine or desiccated thyroid even? If you've said yes to any of those, you get 1 check mark. Yeah. Number 2, do you have cold hands and feet on a regular basis? Number 3, do you find yourself with low energy or brain fog on a regular basis? Do you need a nap at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Do you feel like you're working through a couple of thicknesses to get to the answer of what it is you're looking for? Oh, hi. How's your thyroid? Yeah. Number 4. Oh, no, that was number 4. Brain fog. That's number 4. Okay, I'm going to start over these 10 things because I cut this part out. Anyway, who cares? You don't need to know that. Okay. What are the top 10 ways to know that your thyroid is struggling? Number 1, the most obvious one is a series. I'm going to name a few diagnoses here. These are directly impacting your thyroid. They are an indication that your thyroid is struggling in one manner or another. So hypothyroid, hypothyroiditis, underactive thyroid, Hashimoto's is the autoimmune version. Second is Graves', which is the autoimmune version of an overactive thyroid, but that also counts overactive thyroid. Hyperthyroiditis or hyperthyroid as well. And third, if you've got goiters, which are big growths on your neck, on your thyroid in particular. or taking any kind of medications for any of these conditions. So Synthroid, levothyroxine, desiccated thyroid. These are all a check mark for you if you've said yes to any of these. That's number one. Number two, cold hands and feet. Persistent all the time. Yeah. Yeah. Number three, low energy or fatigue. Do you feel like you've got the slump at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you just can't get through things, or you're falling asleep at the dinner table, even though you had a full night's sleep the night before? Is there deep fatigue? Is your energy really low where you can't even go for a walk around the block? Okay. Number four, brain fog. Brain fog to me is, there's a couple of different potential systems involved in brain fog, but the capacity of cognitively coming up with the ideas and the solutions and the answers to the questions or the words you're looking for, or understanding and grasping that concept, that is a metabolic act. And your thyroid is in charge of your entire metabolism. So anywhere you are expending energy to do something is a metabolic act, and utilizing your cognitive brain, the cognitive side of your brain, to figure things out. When it feels like you're going through a fog or it's really hard to move through that, that can very much potentially have a thyroid issue at the root. So do you struggle with brain fog? You will get good benefit in the network. Number five, do you feel like your stamina is waning? Do you feel like your vitality is kind of, oh, I used to be able to do so many things. Why do I? Yeah, if your stamina is waning, if you feel stress keenly as well, I would dare say that is tied to the same kind of mechanism. That's number five. Number six, have you been constipated perpetually for years? Have you had slow motility? Do you need to rely on a fiber supplement? And it won't work unless you do that. Do you struggle to go to the loo unless you're taking magnesium in some form? Do you struggle going to the loo without taking Senecot or stool softeners of any kind? If constipation has been one of the patterns, that is one of the indicators that there is metabolism that isn't working well in the gut and could be leading back to the thyroid very often. I see that so often in clients. Number seven, not only the cognitive piece in your brain, but the mood piece. Balancing mood is an energetic output kind of activity. So it is sponsored by the thyroid. Your thyroid governs your mood so much. And so often when there are struggles of mood, and if there's constipation issues as well, I start to wonder how your thyroid's doing. Number eight, bone density issues. We just wrapped up 2 months of talking about this in the network. Anybody with osteoporosis or osteopenia, these are very clear indicators and potential markers that the thyroid is struggling. Why? Well, the thyroid produces a hormone called calcitonin. Calcitonin is needed to regulate calcium metabolism, getting calcium into your bones. And if calcitonin isn't working well, now you have a hard time maintaining bone density. Now, calcitonin is a thyroid hormone. So bone density issues can be an indicator of thyroid troubles going on. Number nine, cholesterol levels are off. Oh, whoa. Yeah. High elevated blood cholesterol levels are an indication of thyroid issues. We address it in the network. We also talk about methods to work with that and what it means for you in particular. That's number nine. Number 10, keloids or scars that heal big. So this was one of my telltale signs. I have had surgeries from accidents. I've had many accidents over my life. Okay, like 3 major ones. And every time there has been a surgery, there's a scar, and the scar tissue that builds is full of keloids. Like it just bubbles up, and it was quite bulbous. And these things as well, these fatty deposits that little children used to think I was a witch, they weren't wrong. Those are indications of one of the processes that the thyroid is involved in that is not working well, and these have the potential of developing. So, do you have keloids or scars that heal big? Those are the top 10. How many of those have you said yes to? If you say yes to at least one, honey, you are going to benefit from being in the Good Food Network. If you said yes to more than one, oh, sugar, what are you waiting for? We need you in the network, because in the network, we're going to start going through actionable steps based on understanding what is the biochemistry that's going on that's not working well, what is the body asking, and how can we support her to do what it is she's asking us to help with. Yeah, you're not broken. It's that your body's trying hard to make up for something that's not necessarily working as well. What does it take to help that system rev up and function a little bit better? The solution is different for many different, for the variety of symptoms that we have listed here. And I have more symptoms. So for those who are sticking around, let's go deeper than the first 10. Is your metabolism off? Do you have a midriff? Do you have a muffin top? I have the best one in town, and my metabolism is way better than it was 10, 12 years ago for sure, but it still struggles. Yeah. Do you have weight gain tied to your metabolism? Do you have thinning hair? I had a client where she said, no, it's glorious. I don't have to shave my legs anymore, and I don't have any arm hairs anymore. It's really nice. Well, I get it. But, it could be eyebrows starting to thin. It could be leg hairs starting to thin. It could be arm hairs, or it could be head hair starting to thin. Yeah, that can absolutely, building hair is a metabolic act. It takes energy to build hair. Anywhere you're utilizing energy to do something is a thyroid potential issue. So thinning hair, cracked heels. Cracked heels is one of those undersung massive symptoms of thyroid issues. Yeah, especially if they get worse in the summer. Dry skin. Yeah, your thyroid is keenly involved in actually some skin stuff, right? Like these bumps, these keloid bumps. But persistent dry skin, not just because you live in Alberta. Yeah, totally. What else? Digestion isn't happening well. Your thyroid's in charge of digestion. If you have a hard time digesting, then your thyroid may be struggling. Dull aches and pains. Oh my God, that's everybody, Luca. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there could be mechanical, there could be structural things as well, but there sometimes is the potential of thyroid being involved there. If your libido is waning and if fertility issues are around, the thyroid actually dictates the start of a young girl's period, the start of menarche. This is a system driven by thyroid. Your period, your fertility, the thyroid is keenly involved in fertility troubles. Yeah, in just the whole process of fertility, whether it's working well or not, the thyroid is keenly involved. Period issues, erratic period, painful periods can be an indicator of thyroid troubles. Breast cancer, there is a link between certain types of breast cancer and underactive thyroid as well. Very interesting link. And then in some folks, cardiovascular stuff. The heart and the thyroid are keenly involved, of course, because the thyroid governs all energy output. What is the heart but a beating muscle? It's beating, it's actually swishing and creating flows. Anyway, listen, being human is a thyroid sponsored act. How many of these did you say yes to? If you said yes to at least one, you will gain benefit from being in the Good Food Network. Here's another question I want to ask you. Are you okay with how things are? Do you like the symptoms, how they are? Do you enjoy having, fill in the blank, elevated cholesterol levels? Yeah, I like that. I'm good. I don't need to change it. Okay. That's a very clear, I don't need to be in the network kind of answer. Yeah, for sure. I'm being flippant, but that's an obvious thing. Are you busy with life that dedicating 1 hour a week doesn't feel doable? That is a way to know that the network is not going to be for you. The Good Food Network is set up for you to take yourself through on your own time without anybody going poke, poke, prod, prod. You have to be self-motivated. And I think if you can dedicate 1 hour a week to the Good Food Network, you're going to get really good content out of it. So what I like to say, or what I like to recommend when you first get started, is pick one day every week that's going to be set in stone where you're going to school. And it's really just you're dedicating Monday nights from 8 to 9 to dive into the content, or Sunday mornings 11 to 12, or Tuesday lunch hour 12 to 1. You're sitting down and going through some of the content. And it is content. There's a lot on offer in the Good Food Network. But the way that I think of it is a smorgasbord where you have live content that you can join live. If you're the person who has questions, wants answers, and needs clarification on things, come to the live stuff. But every live session is recorded and you can access the replay. So there's also the whole replay and watching pre-recorded stuff. So there's the replay of all the live stuff, plus there's extra that is content that has been pre-recorded that you can access. So it's a combination of live and pre-recorded and replay content. And there's a third category of content in there as well, printables. We're talking recipes, we're talking worksheets, we're talking easy things that you can put up on the wall and work your way through in order to start putting those solutions in place to address your thyroid troubles or your metabolic woes or your cholesterol levels or your bumps on your nose or the body aches and pains, whatever the symptoms were that you said yes to in the list I just listed. Dedicating an hour a week, going into one of the three contents and combining however you prefer is going to help you get those solutions in place. And I have tools to help you do that. I'm going to take you through it right now. We're going to jump on over to the network so that you can see what it looks like from behind the scenes. And so it can also serve as an orientation for anybody who is going to join us. Now, before we do that, because we may drop people along the way, below in the comments, or actually in the description below the YouTube replay here that you're watching, click on Show More. And you'll drop down a description and links out to different things. So there'll be a few links in there. One will be to the full description of what is in the Good Food Network. In there, I want you to scroll down to where it says, how do I know if this is right for me? How do I know if this is not right for me? Those questions will help you decipher if this is something that will fit the bill for you or not. And then on that page, you can just hit register here and you'll be able to join us. The cost is $35 a month. And it's a subscription service. So you keep at it as long as you want, and you leave when life is full or when it's content you're not wanting to access. So let's jump over to the network, to the suite. Okay, I am going to do this and this. There, that works a little bit better. I wanted to start on this page because when you go to my website, lucassimmons.com, on the bottom of each page is a button here that says log in to Client Hub here. So that's where you're going to get the login to get into the network. Once you're in, when you sign up, you're asked to create a password, and that's just so you can access the content. Once you've created your password, this is what it looks like. It's a bit utilitarian, but I'm going to take you through how to know where things are. This is your home page, and we've got programs on the left is what you're going to need. So I want to highlight this. This logo up top left is my logo. Whenever you click on this, it always takes you to this page, your home page. And you've got a series of these boxes here. These are called widgets. And the first one, the top one, is those live sessions, so upcoming sessions. So we've got an orientation call for the Good Food Network. That's right now. When it's time to join, you click on the camera icon, and there you go. We've got weekly Food as Medicine videos happening on Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. Alberta time. Then we've got a Food as Medicine the following Thursday. There's a live class coming up on September 18th, and so on and so forth. So you'll see all of the live sessions there. The most recent one will always be at the top. Whenever the session is done, it disappears, so you don't have to keep track of it. And down here, you've got a widget called My Programs. I'll tell you, it's easier up top left here to just click on Programs. So when you click on Programs, you're going to find GF Network. That's where everything is. Once you click on it, it's going to take you to the network. Now, there's different sections to this network, and there's no way to collapse this, and unfortunately, it takes half the page. I wish I could change it, but I can't. The cost to this platform is doable for what it is I do, so there you go. So here in this part, in this section, you've got your modules here, and you know you're in the modules section because this is highlighted here. You've got 12 modules. So we've got kind of the start here section, which is where you go when you start. And then we've got it broken down into the pre-recorded content, the live sessions, and the written content. So those are the three tiers of things you can access in the Good Food Network. So let's start with the administrative part, the start here part. there is a module called Start Here Kitten. Well, that's where you start. So this gives you a whole orientation to utilizing the network and where to jump around and what to get and information to keep about what's in the network. So you've got lots of different content here. It gives you the rundown of what module does what. We're going to go back to our modules. So that's the Start Here Kitten. Watch that module first. Once you've done that, there's a few here that you're going to want to dive into. There's a schedule and checklist, what it is our main topic is, and then all about your subscription. So if you have any questions about your subscription itself, this is where you'll find the details. In order to access those modules, you click on the title of it. So here for the schedule for September, you can download and print this month's calendar. These are the actual live sessions that are tied to a time. So you can think 1989, watching The Cosby Show at 8 o'clock on Thursday nights. Yeah, that kind of thing. That's what I think of it. So these are the live sessions right now. We are Tuesday, September 3rd, and orientation calls happening. Here we've got our Thursday morning sessions, and then we've got one 90-minute to 2-hour live class every month. So that's happening this Wednesday on the 18th. You can also download a copy and print it up if you'd like to have a copy of it on hand. And then we've got a checklist here. So this is how you're going to make good use out of the network. So I encourage you to go to this module first. After you've gotten the lay of the place, print this checklist up for a couple of reasons. Number one, it gives you all of the different pieces you can do over the month. You get to choose what you want to access and what you don't want to access. Start with what you don't want to access. This main topic that talks about what we're doing and why the thyroid is so important. If you're like me and you don't necessarily want to know the why, scratch that module out. Don't even go in to look at it. Put a great big old fat line through it and say, I'm not doing it. Good for you. And then go through, and on the left, there's space here for you to write the order in which you want to access your modules. So in this column, use the space to jot down, oh, there is a live class harnessing the power of the sea for your thyroid. I want this to be the first one. I'm going to put number 1 here. Once you've done it, you can check the box, or you can just scratch it out. It's up to you. And then you prioritize what it is you want to do. And I've set it up so that you've got the pre-recorded content, the live content, and then the printable. So it's laid out on the checklist like it is in the network. So it helps to make it a little bit more streamlined. The easiest thing to do is to print up your recipes, because that's just a knock it off. It takes you 5 minutes and you're done. And these kinds of things. So utilize this. You can download your own version down here and then print from your downloads folder on your computer. And keep scrolling, because there's one third and final sheet in here, your worksheet. So we've got the month and the topic. This is what you're going to keep next to your device that you use to watch the content. And you're going to add to this as the month goes on. It's your one-page cheat sheet that gives you your to-do work based on whatever topic it is we're covering. So we're starting with the thyroid, and as you go through some of the content, you're going to get actionable steps, your to-do list, if you will. Oh, one of the things I remember from the thyroid class was to eat breakfast before I have my cup of coffee. Okay, well, I'm going to eat my breakfast before I have my cup of coffee. So that's an action item that's tied to food. So you're going to jot it down in here, and then this sheet has that cheat sheet one-pager that has all of your to-do for looking after your thyroid. When you go to another class, then you implement that. Oh, Luca's food of the week this week is to eat shrimp. So I'm going to eat shrimp once a week. Okay, right on. Write that down. Start by writing down what are your main goals this month. What is it that you want to address or work at this month, and why or how it shows up in your body? So of the symptoms that we just went through, what of those symptoms did you say yes to? Oh, Luca, I have low energy, brain fog, and my mood is struggling. Well, I want to support my thyroid because I want to address my brain fog, my low energy, and my mood. Excellent. Now you get the tie-in to what organ does what in the body, what it is in particular to you, so that when you start eating shrimp, you know that it's going to help improve your mood and your energy, amongst other things. Just to give you that tie-in piece so you can get a better understanding of how your body works. There's a last column here We've got action items for food and action items for lifestyle and more. So these are further steps you want to take. It could be topics or courses. Sometimes I name check free stuff. So you're able to add that in there. So again, you can download to your computer and print it up. That's what it looks like. And once you've done that, the satisfaction of clicking on mark completed, ping. Oh, it marks it done. It takes you to this page. Go back to your program. It's easy. And schedule and checklist for September 2024. Oh, it's completed. I've already done it. I don't need to go back to do it. So it helps you keep track of what it is that you're doing. It also lets me know that you're going through the content, which is super gratifying on my end because I build this because I want you to use it. So when I know that people are using it, I think, oh, good, my work is not in vain. Okay, good. I'll do the work anyway, but also, come on, pay it forward. Anyway, no, I don't. So then you're still able to see the content if you want to view it. You can click on the title of the module, or you can go to view and you'll be able to access that module again. We've got a main topic in September and October. This is what this guy looks like. Our main topic is thyroid and what exactly is happening in the body and why it is a high burden of stress. She's typically the first in the chain of command to be impacted by a high burden of stress. So this is what we are doing. These are all of the symptoms that I just listed. So what of these do you say yes to? And might this be the time to start nourishing yourself to support the body to reduce these symptoms? Yes, that's what we do here. Yeah, nutrient deficiencies are a really big driver of symptoms. That's what we're doing. So what your symptoms plus any type of stress in the body, plus chronic disease, plus autoimmune, plus low grade, plus liver stuff not working, plus histamine if you have histamine stuff, plus blood sugars out of balance, plus your adrenals tuckered out, plus any nutrient deficiencies that your thyroid needs as ingredients means this high burden of stress is shutting down your thyroid and now impacting your metabolic health. That's what's happening when the thyroid's struggling. It's not just the thyroid, it's all of these things. And we are addressing all of these things in the Good Food Network. It is a comprehensive, multifaceted approach to supporting your thyroid. And you are the gatekeeper. You will take on only what you're able to without getting stressed. And you're going to be fine. Okay, so then there's lots more content in here and then suggestions on where to start if you wish. And where I think you'll get the most help in the network this month is that Vitality Thyroid class. And then there's more stuff if you wanted to go further because you want to understand a little bit more about that burden of stress, then you can also take that. That is a cost over and above the network, but it can be a next spot of diving into things for anybody who needs it. So once you've done this, you can click on Mark Completed. You can also just hit the back button on your browser and you'll go back. So it looks like I haven't completed it. You can do one or the other. It's up to you. It doesn't matter to me. You can still always access the content. It's more because the next time you log in, you'll know you've already done it. So it'll be marked. And then if you have any questions about your network subscription, that's where that is. So let's go through the 3 different types of contents. There's pre-recorded content. This means it was recorded in the past. And now I just have the videos right in the modules themselves and you can watch. You've got 3 to choose from. The Real Food Reset is a program I ran back in 2019. And it was a 10 module series that lasted 6 months where you went through 10 different ideas on why real food is going to help us and how to do it. Now we're into module number 4 this month. We're doing navigating fats. So this whole 30-minute class dives into what fats are. And what do we do? Oh yeah, fats, as I like to call them. So in this content, we learn what is a good fat, what is a not so good fat, and how to swap out the not so good with super stellar fats, which fats are good cold, which fats are good for cooking, why adding animal fats to your diet may help you tame that inflammation dragon. We get comfy with some healthy fat guidelines and then deeper dive into understanding the power of sourcing well. And if you have a body, you need fats for all the organs, all the systems, all the cells, all the functions. So this is a 34-minute video that dives into and clarifies everything about fats. I actually think this needs to be a standalone class at some point because of the depth of content and benefits to all of the systems in the body. The thyroid really does need really good fats in order to reduce the stress in the body and to support that metabolic health. And this module is absolutely key when it comes to metabolic health. And then we've got extras. I've got more blog write-ups if you wanted to dive in and get some ideas, fats and snacks, breakfast, lunches, salad dressings, yogurt, why butter is my fave, where to get your omega-3 fats, which fats are good, and you get links out to that. You've got a full handout on navigating fats, and it tells you the swaps, which I really like. So good fats and then healthy fat guidelines, some good swaps to swap out and what to do with those. So you would get this handout. You'd also get a recipe for smoothie bulk prep as a way to start building the good content. When you're done this, you click on mark completed, bing bong, it's done. Back to my program. Let's keep scrolling down. So that was the navigating fats module. We have a full 2.5-hour class on the thyroid. These are classes I used to run at the Light Cellar, and they're really dense material. And I've heard from clients where they took one class and it gave them 1 year's worth of work from the class. Yeah, these classes by themselves are $60. In the network, you access it for $35 plus everything else. So if ever you've wanted to take the Vitality Thyroid class, it lives in the network along with a bunch of other things at a reduced rate. So this has content that you'll really want to access. I just picked a bug bite. Okay, sorry if I'm bleeding all over the place. All right, Vitality class this month. It's been a rough couple of weeks. Let's take a look at what it looks like. So Vitality Thyroid, understanding what it is. So we've got handouts. And we've got only a few videos in this, and there's some extra links out that make sense once you watch the content. So they're broken down in about hour-long sessions. So 55 minutes is the first one. The second one is 40 minutes or so. Oh, that's it. It's a shorter one. Okay, so this goes deep into explaining the whole cholesterol issue, why the heart and the thyroid are connected. What does the thyroid do? What does it look like? How does it function? What do you need to nourish it? And it starts you in on 5 solutions to get you started. This is a really great video to go deep into the comprehension of the thyroid and how to take care of it. When I started seeing clients, I would do little binders for them with their notes, and I would put on the cover, the care and upkeep of you. And this is one of those classes where I feel like it is the care and upkeep of your thyroid. So this is everything you need to know about thyroid, how to know if you have thyroid issues, and what to put in place to address thyroid health. So once you've watched this, you click on mark completed. This is the gold gem of the whole network, is that Vitality class. So make sure you make time, set aside some time to watch it over the next 2 months. It will be there in all of September and October. We've got a cooking class as well. Totally just a fun thing, because it's not just work and science, it's fun times. So we are doing, I have 10 sessions. This month we're doing pizza prep. In October, we're doing pizza make and eat. And this was a cooking class I did with my kiddo a while ago. This talks about getting your ingredients. But like, check her out. She's so stinking cute. These we did at the start of the pandemic in my kitchen with some junior high kids. Oh, she's so sweet. She was in grade 9 at the time. She's in university now. Anyway, oh, she's so cute. So anyway, these are really fun classes. They're 90 minutes. They were designed to appeal to junior high kids. But if you like pizza, then you should come and join us. We have low histamine, paleo, grain-free, dairy-free, egg-free, vegan versions that will suit the bill for everybody. And glutinous, non-gluten, whatever everybody's invited to this table. And we have variations for everybody because we had 72 kids in this class. We had a riot. So you would get to join us in the classes. I happen to record them. When you're done, you click on mark completed. You can also click on mark completed if all you're doing is going in to watch the video or to print the handout and you don't want to watch the video. Click on mark completed. That means next time you log in, oh, I know I don't have to go do this one. I've decided I'm not going to go back and do it. So use that feature. Yeah, mark completed if you're just never going to go back to it. So those are the pre-recorded content. So this is the stuff that you can access on demand like it's 2024. Now we have live sessions. We have 2 kinds of live sessions. We have Thursday mornings, 7 a.m. Alberta time, and we have a live class once a month. So the live class on its own is $25. The network is $35 a month. Do you see what a good deal it is? I hope you do. Okay. Thursday morning sessions, they're all listed here. These are the ones that we're going to be doing this month. So it always starts with a description of what it is. These are the ways food and nutrition can support you through one topic related to the main focus. So they're always at 7. They're about half an hour long. And these are the sessions this month. This week, we're doing goitrogens in your thyroid, why thyroid is at the root of stress, cholesterol and thyroid connection, and essential animal foods for thyroid health. Now, what we're doing here, a lot of these are excerpts that I've taken from the Vitality Thyroid class, parsed out and simplified with to-do tied directly to that. We talk about goitrogens in the Vitality Thyroid class, but it is only in passing. If when you're watching the Vitality Thyroid class, you go, goitrogens, this is new to me. I'm supposed to cook. I eat a lot of raw broccoli. I have hypothyroiditis. Oh, what? Have I been doing it wrong all along? Am I doing a disservice to my body? No. We dispel the myth of goitrogens and your thyroid, and we go into the science of it, and then what it is that you need to think about if you want to consume goitrogens and you have thyroid issues. Where are they? What do you do to make them less of an issue, and why they're an issue in the first place, and how to make them not be an issue? That's the kind of stuff we cover in these sessions. Why thyroid is at the root of stress, cholesterol, and animal foods for thyroid health. So these, when we're done, we always have the video replays down here. So these will start to pepper through here as we go through the month. So we'll have the most recent session replay at the top, so you can come in once a week and watch it, and then they get bumped down to the bottom as we go through. Okay, so those are the food is medicine in our live sessions. We also have a live class every month, and that's a 90-minute to 2-hour class. And it is on October 18th this month, September 18th, pardon me. We're calling it Harnessing the Power of the Sea for Your Thyroid. I've run this class before. I'm redoing it with a slideshow this time and simplifying it a little bit to make it really clear what the work is. And the work is to incorporate the sea into your diet in, is it 4 different ways I talk about? 4 or 5 different ways that the thyroid supports you, or that the sea supports your function of the thyroid. So this, you could totally take just this class if you wanted to, but it is included when you join the network. So these are the key goals. Is this class for you? So if you're contemplating joining us live, this is going to help you decide whether or not you want to join us for the live class, or maybe if you can't join us live, you want to watch the replay. So you don't have to pre-register for the class. All you have to do is show up. The replay is going to be down here, and then handouts and recipes when they're ready, and any extras will be there. So those are the 2 live components. So we've gone through pre-recorded, we've gone through the live content. The last and best section, best because it takes 5 seconds to go through it, are your printouts. So this is just written content, where there's 1 short video in one of them, but that's it. Recipes of the month. Every month there's 5 recipes that are seasonal and tied to our main content, our main topic. So pulled pork has a great affinity for thyroid. So I've got pulled pork as one of the dishes here. We've got Turkish roasted veg salad. We've got chicken cacciatore. We've got a dal, because lentils are particularly really good for the thyroid because of all the B vitamins. And we have a ginger ale base for sodas. So you can print up all the recipes here. We have low histamine alternatives. Where applicable, we also go dairy-free if you need it, or grain-free as well, or paleo versions. So, and what will suit the bill, what won't, depending on where you're at. And so you'll be able to jump into these things. So when you've got these 5 recipes printed, you download to your downloads folder and you print from there. You click on Mark Completed. There are 5 recipes every month. They are the same recipes as what is in my recipe subscription program. But yeah, recipes. We've done the recipes. We've got the weekly Good Food Challenge. I post these on the social accounts. So yesterday I posted about shrimp. So shrimp is the food to feature this week. That is really good for the thyroid. So if you had your worksheet next to you under food, action items, you would write eat shrimp. Oh, for those who need to know, it's because of the iodine, the selenium, and the zinc. But if you just want to know that shrimp is good for your thyroid, you should probably just eat shrimp. Thank you, bye. So what we do in the Good Food Network is we give you ideas on how to cook them. Simple cooking ideas so that you can try something at home and start to develop the cooking from the hip kind of approach to preparing meals. They're not, the most complicated one, I think, is the coconut shrimp. Dip shrimp in beaten egg, coat with shredded coconut, bake at 375 till golden brown. Serve with a tangy dipping sauce for a tasty treat that'll love up your thyroid. Yeah, so those are the types of recipes and food ideas we put in the Good Food Challenge. And I update it every week, and the latest one is at the top. The others get bumped down. Got one last written content, Eating with the Seasons. Every 3 months, we switch into a new season, and the fall season, I think, is possibly the most delicious season of all. Here we have a whole module dedicated to helping you align with the season. So there's a lot of different ways of going into the work that I propose. Through the hormones, or through the topic, or through the blood sugars, or through, it's all the same work. One of the biggest pieces that I have noticed a massive shift in myself and in clients is when we also start to go in, taking mind to where we are in time and place. So that ties into the circadian rhythm, it ties into eating seasonally, and it ties into those traditional methods of preparing and eating foods that tie into the season. Your body is made to digest bananas when you are in Costa Rica in banana season. Your body is made to digest tomatoes when you are in Alberta the first week of September and the tomatoes are plentiful in your garden. Yeah, there are lots of different chemical processes that happen in the body based on the time and the information of the environment around you that your body receives through your senses. That's what we cover in this module. And there's a whole handout on what are the foods to eat for the season. There's also some really good content. This is a good one if you're just starting in the Good Food Network. I encourage you to actually get this printed up and start playing with this. I think this is actually a good place to start because it helps. There's a couple of different things in here. We've got foods to focus on for the season, things that would have been available at this time of the year naturally. Now, the main organ for the season is the lungs and the large intestine, which you can see here. So that also influences and helps inform what are those foods that I'm reaching for, especially the superfoods, the teas, the roots and shoots and herbs and spices. So I think of these as the flavors of the season and those extras to bring in. For those who are on like level 400, these are the foods that are supportive to your lungs and your large intestine. So every 3 months, you get a new list. And so you start to shift through different supports so that the supports correspond with the organ of the season, which is traditional knowledge from the traditional Chinese medicine approach of looking at the world. So that's woven into this as well. So it encourages us to have variety based on the season. So the season of fall is about the lungs and the intestine. The season of winter is about kidneys and adrenals and bones. The season of spring is about the liver, and the season of summer is about the heart. So it's so interesting to me when you start to dive into this, and it invites a sense of wonder. So the main energy of the season, if that's what's happening in the outside world, what does that mean for me as a human? So this can give you some farther to reach pieces that may touch on a spiritual support. And not spiritual as in a god, but a philosophy, a philosophy, if you will. So if the main energy of the season, for example, if you look to the natural world, all the energy is going downwards. The leaves are falling, your herbs have flowered and seeded, and now they're all falling to the ground. My walking onions in my backyard at my house have all fallen over and are starting to go downwards so they can plant the roots and go downwards. The energy of all the tulip bulbs and everything that came early in the season has all gone down into the roots. The trees are turning off upstairs and just going down into the roots. Everything is going down. What does that mean for you? Well, here's 5 things to think about for the fall season. So I'll give you a minute to look at these. Does this not start to resonate, and will this maybe help give some direction on how to move forward in the weeks ahead? For example, number 3 there, at this time of year, we naturally tend to go more inwards maybe not quite yet, but in a couple of weeks when we really see the changing of the seasons. We start to go introspectively. Honor this. Don't get mad if your 14-year-old child is now going inwards. Maybe they're really in tune with the season, right? We're not supposed to be outwards and moving and doing, and we're not human doings, we're human beings, for God's sake. Yeah. Anyway, these are kind of ideas to give you a little bit of a step outside of maybe where you're standing, to give you a wider view on things and a different way of thinking of things that can invite in wonder. And that to me just really helps on another level. So you've got some ideas there. That's found in the Eating with the Seasons fall module. That one's alive there for another 3 months. So it'll disappear by the end of November. When you've printed it up and if you've watched the video above, you click on Mark Completed. Good work. I like that it confirms that I'm doing what I'm supposed to. Good work. Those are the modules. So again, I'll just break it down. We're on the modules here on the left. You've got your Start Here section, kind of the admin side, pre-recorded content, live sessions, written content. Where are you going to start? Do the easy stuff, get your checklist, and then decide where you're going to go. And make time. Put it in your day timer. Schedule it in. Now, included in the Good Food Network is a chat. So I use the chat as a way to help people stay connected to the content and to know what is available, what's new, and what have you. So here we've got, I don't super love it here. It's a bit harder to see because you're so limited because this can't collapse. But if you go up here, there's a chat bubble up here. It's the same. There's two ways to access the chat. So here we've got the chat with Good Food Network, and you can also chat with me. So my name will be there, so you can send me personal questions if you want. But the Good Food Network has content. So every time I upload something or there's a replay that's available, it will be dropped in here. So you'll be able to access this. So last week on Fridays, I usually drop a little extra something if somebody wants some reading on the weekend. So last week I dropped an article here, Beyond TSH, Additional Conversations with Your Doc. So these are what other markers can you be looking for when you have thyroid issues. It's about more than just TSH. There's a full great article about that. This was last week's Thursday morning session. So when it is ready to access, there is in the comment, oh yeah, somebody commented here about what she does. It's awesome. But I always put in the comments when something is ready for replay. So peruse on through these sections. If you have a question, you can jot down the question in here as well. Everyone in the network is going to see it. We've got 11 people as of this morning in the network. So everybody there will see it. If it's a private question, you prefer not to have others show, then I do the same thing every month. Luca, question about cholesterol. Here is my question. And then you type the question, and then you just hit this little arrow and it sends me the email. Awesome. Oh, and then you get an automatic response right now because I'm currently on the move. Ha ha. So there we go. So this is how you can pop in any of these things, these questions. So I wanted to show you that chat function. So that's the little chat bubble up top. I find that one works much better in order to access that Good Food Network stuff. So you can see everything that's here. Now, there's also a little bell notification up top, right? This tells you group notifications. So that's when somebody types in here, including me, when I put any content to access there. There's also all of these, you'll get a little notice about, I've got a live session coming up, and you can just click them or you can view them all and you can get rid of them all. It's up to you. So all of these, I'm just going to clear them all. The group notifications are those group chats. So they will all be in there, so you can access them either through here or through the group chat. Find the way that works for you to find them. You can use I tend to use just the chat bubble up here and that little notifications tab. And then when I'm like, I don't know where I am, I click on my logo, it takes me to my homepage. There you go. So your homepage has the live sessions, upcoming sessions. And then here, programs is where you access your Good Food Network. And this is where you get all of the content. And that is that. That's the whole Good Food Network for the month of September and into October as well. We will be updating more content then. I will give another shout out on October 1st and give you a tour of the network then. In the meantime, you can join the network anytime. Who is somebody who needs the network? You should be in the network. You would do well in the network if you have 1 hour a week you can dedicate. If you're looking to resolve thyroid issues or any of the symptoms that I listed that tell us your thyroid is struggling, you will get good benefit from the Good Food Network. It was originally intended as support to clients after we had done a round of appointments, as a way to revisit some of those ideas that we talked about in our one-on-one sessions. But it has turned into being a more affordable place to access content, to know what it is you can put in place to support yourself for your health issues and your health goals. So I now tend to actually have, I only have, I think there's 2 of the people in the network who are former clients, and 9 are people who are just in the network. And they're going through the content and diving through things. So I invite you to join us in the Good Food Network. The pressure is really low. It is take yourself through it kind of action. And it's served as a smorgasbord. So I'm going to ask you this. When you go, if you found what I just went through a bit overwhelming, here's my question to you. When you go to a buffet, if there is a family of 8, you go to the buffet. Do all 8 people take everything that's on the buffet? No. Do all 8 people have the same plate? No. You're picking what it is you like and whatever it is that you need to feed yourself so that you're full. Everybody decides what's on their plate. Your plate's going to look different than somebody else who's in the network. And if you're doing just an hour a week, that can be that Thursday morning 30-minute session plus printing up of things. It can be just the Vitality Thyroid class, which ends up being almost 2 hours. So that's 2 weeks worth. And then you just go through and maybe do the pizza cooking class. You will get use out of the network if all you're doing is one thing. I've priced it at a point that is accessible because I can't hold your hand. That's kind of the deal. You have to take yourself through. So you have to be dedicated and wanting to go into to tend to the work, because there's no hand holding. My specialty is hand holding. So it's really hard for me not to hand hold, but I've built this so it lives on its own so you can take yourself through it. So it's available 24 hours a day. As soon as you sign up, you're in for a month. So if you're just watching this on September 15th, join us anyway. You can access everything until October 15th. And if you want to stay in the network, then you stay in the network and you just continue on. The content is always there. It changes on the 1st of every month. You get a month from the day you sign up. $35 a month. And that's it. Thanks for joining me on this Tuesday morning, Tuesday. What's today? Losing track of days. Next time you will see me, I will be in another family member's home. And I look forward to seeing you then. Take care, everybody. Salut. À bientôt. See you in the network.